Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Shauna, and we're going to walk you through the registration and orientation process for Spring/Summer 2024 intake. This is the orientation team. So you've met myself, you've met Mark, you'll be meeting Cassandra, and you'll be meeting Ash. You'll receive emails from these folks, and you may receive emails from others. Anyone who reaches out to you via email will be using a Cestar College email address. It'll end at cestarcollege.com. We just want to let you know that so that you know that those are legitimate requests of you. The registration and orientation process, 6 easy steps. Step 1 is pre-arrival orientation. Step 2 is the online registration. Step 3 is the account setup. Step 4 is the academic success modules. Step 5, you'll complete your timetable confirmation. And then step 6 is when you'll be joining us on campus for the orientation sessions that are here at Lambton College in Toronto. This QR code will give you access to Lambton College in Toronto. So this is where you're going to find all 6 steps and any resources that you need to get you through registration. Once you get to the Lambton College in Toronto website, you'll click online registration. And here you can see step 1 and 2 of the process. We're going to talk first about step 1. So step 1 is the pre-arrival orientation course. It's 3 modules. It'll give you all kinds of information about expectations that we have of you and things that you can expect of us. You'll find out about safety. You'll find out about mental health supports, all the things that are available to you when you're here at Lambton College in Toronto. It'll take you about 2 hours to complete this module, or the 3 modules actually. In order to get access to them, again, we're at the Lambton College in Toronto website, and you're going to click Pre-Arrival Online Orientation. I mentioned there are 3 modules, so you'll finish module 1, 2, and 3. And when you're done, you'll be asked to complete this form. You'll download and save the certificate of completion. Make sure you do this step because you need this certificate for the next step. Mark's going to walk us through that step in just a second, but you'll be uploading this document to the database. And that's the end of step 1. I'll turn things over to Mark to walk us through step 2.
Thank you so much, Shauna. So yeah, let's talk about step 2, which is completing the online registration. This is going to run from March 11th until May 17th. Will take about 30 minutes of your time and requires that you upload documents to the Cestar database. And you want to remember that you have to complete all the forms that you see there as well. And you'll see examples of uploads and requirements as we go on through the slide deck. So let's get started. First, you can use the QR code that you see on the slide deck right now, or the URL below it to get back to the previous steps that you saw before. Step 2, complete online registration. You'll see a link for the Cestar database. So click on that. You'll be taken to the Cestar database login page, and you'll use your credentials that you received from us in a previous email. If you didn't get an email that talked about your Cestar database login credentials, be sure to check not only your inbox, but as well as your junk or spam mail folder to see if maybe you overlooked the email. So once you use that information to log in, you'll be taken to the following page. This is the student online registration page. Scroll down because it contains a lot of information. At the very top, you have your basic information such as your name, address, and other information such as this, such as email addresses and so on. Below that, though, you'll see the following section, required documents. So the required documents, it looks like a lot. Some of them are required, some of them are recommended, but you'll see each of them has a file upload button in green next to them. Click on each one, upload the files that you have. Definitely remember the required files, but also the recommended ones as well. The more you upload, the better. And as you scroll down, you'll come across the different agreements that we have that you'll need to read and agree to. So the very first one, the student registration agreement, has 2 different buttons underneath it. It has the please add your sponsor information and the please add contact info button. Click on each one, and then you'll be taken to 2 different pages where you can input your sponsor information right here and the contact information, which looks like this. Complete both of these sections, and then take a moment to review each of the different agreements that you have. Once you read through each agreement, click on the box that says, I acknowledge, understand, and accept the terms outlined above. Do that for each one. Keep going all the way down, and then you'll get to a point where you can enter your signature. Put in your surname first, then your given name, and then click on Agree. Then below that, you have a chance to put in your passport number. Input your passport number, and then click on Verify Answer to verify that the password shows up correctly. Agree to the final terms, and then you'll have 3 different guides that you can download. These are very useful guides. They are the student checklist, the international check-in manual step-by-step guide, and of course the Guard Me policy. Download each one, and then once you're done, click on Continue. Once you click on Continue, you can review the various documents that you uploaded previously, just to make sure that they are correct and accurate. So examples of those documents are as follows. The first one is the passport. Be sure that you have a picture of the photo page as well as your full name. That's a required document. You have your Lambton College offer letter, which is also a required document. You have the pre-arrival certificate that you got from step 1. You can place it here in step 2. Next, one of the 3 files that you see here, the study permit, the approval letter, or the PPR, the passport process request, can be used during the registration process, and they are required for this process. On top of that, you have your fee receipt. Now, just remember, as far as the fee receipt is concerned, the fee receipt that contains the Lambton College in Toronto or Lambton College logo on it, that's the receipt that we require, as other receipts such as the Flywire receipt are not considered accepted for this process. On top of that, a nice to have is the temporary resident visa, if you have it, or the work permit. These documents are recommended if you have them, although they're not a mandatory upload. Now, that being said, we're done with step 2, so we can move right on to step 3. So over to you, Shauna, for that.
Thank you very much, Mark. So step 3 is your account setup. You'll receive an email to your personal email address, and just make sure that you're checking your spam in case that's where it ended up. And you'll have there's some instructions in that email. Follow the instructions. There's a link in that email, and it'll take you to this form. You're going to complete your student ID. You're going to provide your passport number, payment code, and your fee receipt number. Once you've done that, you can click Authenticate, and we will reach out to you. You'll receive your My Lambton account access. Your My Lambton account access is also your email address. You'll get your email. It starts with your student number, and we require that students start using their My Lambton email address as soon as you have it. It's the best way for you to communicate with staff and faculty at the college. My Lambton also gives you access to parts of the Lambton College in Toronto website that you wouldn't have access to if you were not a student of the college. So it's very important that My Lambton access. That is the end of step 3, and I'll turn things over to Mark.
Thank you so much. And now another important place to access would be your Moodle page. Now, the Moodle page is where you get a lot of updates and information about things going on campus, such as policies and job postings and events on campus, as well as all of your courses. So all of your course content is located here as well. So it's vital that you have your Moodle access. So to get your Moodle access, just remember there are 2 things to keep in mind. One is that your access for Moodle is the same credential as your CESTAR database. That's the first thing. And if you're trying to get to Moodle, you have 2 options. You can use the QR code that you see on the screen right now, or the URL below it to go straight to Moodle and log in from there. Alternatively, you can go back to the previous 6-step process that we have on the Lambton page using this QR code, and you'll see a link directly to the academic success modules. So feel free to choose either one to get there. And once you get to the academic success modules, you'll be able to use this starting April 8th, and then it will take about 2 hours of your time. The challenge that you'll have is that there's lots of stuff to go through, so please set aside enough time to complete it. You'll be able to watch orientation videos, see the director's message, download the welcome package that you have there, And once you complete all of these items, you'll be able to complete a short test to confirm some knowledge that you learned on this page. So once you complete step 4, you can move right along to step 5. And Shauna, I'll pass it to you for that.
Thank you very much, Mark. So we're going back to the Lambton College in Toronto website, where you see that 6-step process. This is where we're going to confirm timetable and select a group if applicable. So if your program is a large intake and it is split into multiple sections, you can choose the group that is most convenient to you. So again, we're going back using the QR code, go back to Lambton College in Toronto website, hit SESTAR, you scroll down to item number 5, access timetables, and hit the SESTAR database link. You're going to log in using the same credentials again that you've already used to get into the database that Mark walked us through. Keep in mind that when you are going into the timetable to confirm your timetable and or in some cases select a group, you have been assigned a day for you to do this step. So if you are in the advanced healthcare leadership group, then you're going to be going and selecting your timetable or confirming your timetable on Monday, April 22nd. If you're MMPT, your marketing management and professional sales, you're going on Wednesday, April 24th. Just keep that in mind because you won't have access on those days that you have not been assigned. So again, from step 5 on the Lambton College in Toronto website, you'll click the SESTAR database and you're going to log in with those same credentials that you were provided in order to do your original registration. You'll see up here, you're going to select group. That's the menu item that you're going to be clicking in order to get access to the groups that are available. You'll select using the radio buttons over here. You'll be selecting the group that makes most sense to your other commitments. If you have other commitments outside of your studies, then you can also look at the group, click the group calendar here, and you can see what that calendar looks like. Once you're done, you'll hit confirm, and then your calendar will look at. If you hover over any of these colorful boxes, you can see exactly what that course when it's scheduled. So you can see when it starts, when it ends. You'll see the classroom that you're going to be going to in building A or building B, and you can also see whether it's an online class. And that's it for step 5. So I'll turn things over to Mark to finish us off with step 6.
Okay, and this is the most exciting step because we get to see you in person during this week. This is the on-campus live orientation sessions that we have on campus. So this will happen between April 29th and May 3rd with a lot of different sessions and workshops available for you. It's going to be a bit of a choose your own adventure where you get to pick out the sessions that you want to attend at different times of day. Some of those great sessions are the academic integrity session hosted by myself. You have student services, content about part-time jobs, information from the gardening health insurance that we have on campus. You'll be able to meet your program coordinators and co-op coordinators as well, if that applies to you. We'll have scavenger hunts and games and prizes throughout the week. So we definitely encourage you to come, and we can't wait to see you if you do. Thank you so much. And then passing over to Shauna to talk about housing.
Oh, sorry. So we wanted to give you a few tips on housing because although it might be a little bit early, you're just starting your registration, it's probably good for you to keep some of this stuff in mind as you're doing your research, and always research before you start renting. The Greater Toronto area is rather large, so the rents can vary from one region to the next. So just research the community, research the neighborhood, check out the average rental costs in those areas. Take a look at the bus and subway routes. You want to make sure that the bus or the subway will get you to campus. We are quite accessible by TTC, so that's great. And you want to just make sure that you're to class on time. You'll get an opportunity to test this out when you come for the on-campus orientation sessions during that last week of April and first week of May. If you're in Toronto, You can view the property. We recommend that. Meet the landlord. It's just really good to see the space. And just be wary of fraud and scams. There's lots of them out there. We will be doing a webinar later on this month, and just watch your email for that. But we will walk you through some of the things that you should be looking out for from that perspective. The best way to be aware or to be assured that the property that you're looking at to rent is a good property, it's good for you, is to speak to family and friends that might be living in the same area. And just if you start going down that path, then just make sure that you know what the rent, the monthly expenses will be. Utilities and water, phone, internet, cable, are they on top of your rent? Because that can add a significant amount to your expenses. The other things to consider, just a very short list here, there's lots, but security deposit, do you have to provide that in advance? Is there a rental contract? Hopefully there is, and you should read that from cover to cover. Are you going to be sharing a room with someone else? You're going to want to know that up front. And any expectations that the landlord might have. Like I said, we're going to do a housing webinar later on this month, and you'll hear from us via email about when that's going to be happening. You should have received an email from one of the other members of our orientation team. That email would have given you information about the WhatsApp group that you're in. The WhatsApp group that has been assigned to you contains other students that are in your program, but it also may have other programs in that same group. So any questions that you have about orientation or registration, you can use the WhatsApp group to pose those questions, and someone will get back to you. We have a number of ambassadors, student ambassadors, and staff who are monitoring those WhatsApp groups. Just make sure that if you have not received information about your WhatsApp group, that you check your spam. Maybe it went to your spam. And if you can't find an email about your group, reach out to orientationinfo@cestarcollege.com, and we'll make sure that you're in a group. Just a summary. So registration opens April 11th or March 11th. Sorry. So it's already open now. That first step is the pre-arrival courses. So make sure you do that and download that certificate. You're going to upload that certificate later on. Make sure that you complete the My Lambton login request. Again, that's going to come through email. Complete the academic success modules that are on Moodle. That's the learning management system that Mark walked you through. Those will open on April 8th. Complete your timetable and confirmation group selection on the day that you've been assigned. And then attend on-campus orientation sessions between April 29th and May 3rd. Your program will be invited for either April 29th, 30th, or May 1st. Everyone is invited for the events that happen on May 2nd and 3rd, the Thursday and Friday that week. First day of classes is May 6th. We've also included a number, all of the key dates, so just take note of those. We covered those throughout the session today. Just if you have any questions specific to orientation and registration, you can reach out to orientationinfo@cestarcollege.com or registration@cestarcollege.com. You can also reach out to student services at cestarcollege.com. Immigration, if you have questions about your study permit or work permit or visas, anything of that nature, reach out to our immigration consultant, Zoe. Immigration@cestarcollege.com is her email address. And then again, we gave you a little bit of information about housing today. We're going to do that webinar a little bit later. But if you have questions about housing between now and the time we do that webinar, then make sure that you reach out to housing@cestarcollege.com, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. I hope this was a good session for you. And again, lots of people that you can reach out to if you have any questions. Thank you very much for joining us today, and also for choosing Lambton College in Toronto. And we look forward to seeing you at the end of April, early May, when you're on campus for those on-campus orientation sessions.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.